Yeah, when you're taking yourself when everything got messed.
Ross, I think it's live. Ross, you might want to get into the camera.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Calyptus V2 launch party. So yeah, it's officially live. What we've been working on for some time now, and we can't wait to share what we've been building with every single one of you. Thank you for being part of our community. I think we'll just give people a minute to join us. So I think we'll just talk about something random, like how nice Ross is looking this morning.
Ross is half covered up by the Calyptus V2 launch party sign.
Yeah. The best cover.
So good. Daniel, what about starting with where you bought your shirt from?
Yeah, actually, this was from Mauritius. Hey, who's asking?
No, I'm not.
All right, guys. I think we'll just dive into it. A lot of people joining us. So we have people joining us from LinkedIn, from X, and from YouTube. So wherever you're joining us from, if you have any questions, just put it in the chat. We're going to see your questions and we're going to read them live on here. So yeah, I see people already saying hi. So someone says hi, Steven. Okay, yeah, that's us talking to Steven. Yeah, so a lot of people joining the call, so it looks like it's going to be very, very exciting one. So without further ado, I'm just going to go to the first question. So the first question is I think we should start by introducing ourselves. I'll go to Dan. From Dan, we'll go to Callum, and then we'll go to Ross. So please, I'm the community manager, like my title says out there, Daniel, community manager for Calyptus. So cool. Dan, over to you.
Hi guys, I'm Dan, the CEO and co-founder of Calyptus with these two, Callum and Ross. Spent the last 5 years in venture capital, deep tech venture capital and blockchain startups, solving a problem that was very dear to myself. I suppose my role in the company is operations, help in marketing and fundraising.
Yeah, nice and sweet. So over to you, Callum.
Yeah, Dan's the big boss. Also co-founder at Calyptus. My background is very much in enterprise sales, worked in the mental health space, but have been very deeply interested in the crypto space for the last 6 or 7 years and stumbled across a massive problem around employment and education and launched Calyptus a couple of years ago. Here we are now with a growing team, an amazing community, and lots of incredible partners. Looking forward to telling you all about V2 today.
Yeah, surely can't wait. Over to you, Ross.
Yeah, hi everyone, guys. You can see me on LinkedIn with better face in my avatar, but I really glad to join this launch event. My background is primarily fintech and digital products. I've built a lot of things in my career, and most of them were last 7 years related to blockchain, crypto, Web3, and I have really good experience in creating stuff and launching products. So that's why I am looking after technology and product at Calyptus, and glad that we kicked off this stuff.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, thanks, Ross. So I'm just going to go over to our first question now. So the first question is for Dan. So Dan, please tell us what inspired the creation of Calyptus, and how do you see the company evolving in the next 5 years?
Definitely. For some background, myself and Callum, we actually met at university in Exeter a long time ago, 10 years ago. It's kind of depressing. We've known each other since university. My route was going down into kind of, as I mentioned, venture capital and blockchain startups. But we've both been very much involved with cryptos in 2017, investing, trading. From my experience, I was consulting hundreds of startups a month at the VC I was working at previously, in which all the blockchain founders, especially blockchain founders, could not find, the right talent. Give it a few months and they're already redundant, because Solidity changes or whatever it is. And there was a huge problem that we saw. Myself and Callum, we were just speaking about it, being so close to the industry. Callum having now 7 years in HR tech, we saw that there was a huge problem in talent. There was 18,000 developers sustaining what was like a 3 trillion market at the time. It was like top of the ball run. And so we thought, let's just set up, a business that can really help here, onboarding new users to the space. And so we ditched our day jobs and we built what was a learning and employment platform, which was Calyptus V1. Now, that was very, very basic. It was very much an MVP. It was basically on WordPress, but we started mainly with learning, but an Ethereum curriculum. We've got a few hundred users, but then the market dried up, and suddenly not many Web2 developers were even entering Web3 anymore, and having a learning business was difficult. Like lots of companies died during that period. That crypto winter was harsh for the next year or two. And so we quickly had to think of how we could make the most of this and pivot. And so we flipped the model on its head, and we went employment first. And what we really focused on at first were senior engineers. We found that 90% of the talent platforms in Web3 were focused on juniors, which is great for juniors. But when you speak to employers, they're all looking for seniors at the time and couldn't get their hands on these great quality talents. We're talking to Aave, we're talking to these large employers, couldn't do it. And so we flipped to employment first, focus on seniors, and suddenly our users went from not just hundreds, but into thousands. And it kind of snowballed from there, I suppose. We got to about 20,000 users when we finally realized there was something missing. We were solving the search problem, and most tools in this industry and most platforms in this industry are solving the search problem. Even LinkedIn is helping solve the search problem, finding talent. But actually what we realized is that the HR process is much, 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 much longer than that. The search part is just the very tip of the iceberg. You have the first stage interview, second stage, third stage might be a tech assessment, fourth stage, background check, ID check, reference check. And so you have all this period of time, and actually it's getting worse. It's not getting better. We're now at like 45-day average to hire someone. And so we realized there is a huge opportunity to fix this problem. It's a much bigger problem for employers, and also for candidates. We can break the endless cycle of always proving yourself using blockchain technology, all these reference check, background checks. And that's what really spurred on version 2. We realized there's a novel way in which we can actually speed up this process for candidates, speed up this process for employers. And V2 was born with Ross. We brought Ross in to lead up the tech side with his experience building WireX to God knows how much revenue and like a 500-person tech team. He knew the problem inside out, and so we found our guy to build the platform to what we needed to become. We hired an incredible tech team, and we're now, I suppose, Web3's a trusted hiring platform powered on on-chain credentials and AI. About 25,000 users now. We're working with some awesome employers from Solana through to Wintermute and Polygon. I think the very key of it though is gamification and credentialization. Our whole vision and mission from now is making hiring completely seamless, but also ultimately making it fun. We're building like a Pac-Man meets LinkedIn meets Stripe, an enjoyable, hassle-free hub and ecosystem for people in Web3 to build their reputation, to land a great job, to develop their careers, and get paid seamlessly. This is now what we're moving towards as a company.
Yeah, that was really insightful. But in the conversation, I heard you talking about V1, V2. So please dive deeper into what's V1, what's V2, what are we celebrating? Because I'm sure that's what people want to know.
What are we celebrating? We're celebrating not being on a WordPress platform with 20,000 users complaining how slow it was. We're celebrating moving towards something that's super scalable and highly tech driven. So just taking our AI side, for example, previously on V1, you'd have to upload your information very manually, and that's really annoying and boring. Now, what we have enabled is you can either connect your LinkedIn or you can connect your CV, whatever kind of unstructured data that will look like. It would automatically be turned into structured data through OpenAI, and we can actually then process that into your platform, generate your profile within seconds, and all your information is there. So taking the headache out of the onboarding process. Also using AI machine learning for actually making the connections faster between you and employers, because now it's based on hundreds of different data points, not just what you've said you can do, but also what you can prove you can do. So we now have an integration with Kolodyazhnyi. They are the gold standard for running tech assessments. They are AI resistant. They know you're human. They know who you are, and they have an awesome tests to prove you have certain skills. And so now we have this ability to take your skills and actually put it on chain. Every single user that joins our platform, we generate an NFT for you. And in the metadata of that NFT, every time you do a verification, it might be a skill assessment, you can even do reference checks, you can do employment checks. All these verifications accrue inside of your NFT or metadata and get overwritten every time you undertake something. And you get SEO ranked in the platform based on not just what you've said. Maybe you said you're good at JavaScript and therefore, you might be ranked or next to JavaScript jobs. But if you can prove you're good at those things, and you can prove you worked at these employers you've worked at, we're going to bump you up. And so it's all about reputation. It's all about gamifying it, make the experience interesting, breaking the endless cycle of always proving yourself, because we asked you to do those tests once. And then we have some really awesome other features from, wallet integrations. You can integrate any wallet. Either we can be your custodian for your NFT information, or you can integrate your MetaMask, your Phantom wallet, any wallet really, to hold that data. In-app messaging, so you can actually now speak to the employers on the platform, book interviews, get offers, all through the platform. And also, I suppose for employers, ATS integration. Any employers on the call, if you are using an ATS system, it's an application tracking system, you can now send essentially your jobs directly to our platform and automatically get uploaded, so you don't have to manually update yourself. And also, candidates can be sent automatically to your ATS system in one click. I'd say those are probably the key features on how we've really moved on from V1 WordPress to something that's living, breathing, very tech driven. That's probably it, I'd say.
Yeah. Speaking of moving from WordPress, I'm the community manager, so I get the complaints firsthand.
There's one thing I do want to mention, which is we're now really gamifying it. So the whole idea of like SEO ranking, that's great. You can do things to prove you're good and stand out on employers' shortlists when they look for candidates. But now what we're doing is gamifying it. So you as a user, in the next 2 or 3 weeks, our new launch is going to be around gamifying with a point system. But I'll let Ross jump in on some of that from his side and how he's built it.
Yeah, before we jump to Ross, I'll just go quickly to Callum on the recruitment side. So what trends in the Web3 employment market do you find most exciting or concerning? And how is Calyptus V2 positioned to respond to these trends that you've noticed in the market?
I think starting off to talk about some of the concerning things, the proliferation of AI since ChatGPT launched a couple of years ago has led to a huge surge in fake profiles, particularly on LinkedIn, but really on all platforms. A stat from a year ago now, so you can assume this number is much larger. There's 50 million fake profiles on LinkedIn. And many of the clients that we work with and us ourselves see every single day, about 20% of applicants to roles via LinkedIn are fake or suspicious candidates. So that's obviously a huge issue for HR teams, for hiring managers. They need to see real candidates. And the way in which we can help show them those real candidates is by using the blockchain, using on-chain credentials, so that candidates with Calyptus can prove They are who they say they are. They worked where they said they worked, and they have the skills they say they have. That is a huge unlock, and it's why we've been able to bring on board the likes of Optimism and Arve to hire from the 25,000 or so engineers on the platform. I think some other interesting trends. A lot of Web3 employers are still looking for really significant amount of Web3 experience in order to get a role. What this means is that the salary ranges are increasing, salary levels are constantly increasing. This is a nice little shill of our salary report that we put out last week, actually. I don't know if someone could get that in the chat. But what we're doing there is we're providing as much education as we can. We have worked with people in the Ethereum community, people in the Solana community to create both Solidity and Rust curriculums. By creating those curriculums, allowing our users to learn, to credentialize those skills again, and to find work on our platform, we're hopefully bringing more people into the industry that we all love. I think the other trend, and this is positive for everybody, and again can be seen really clearly in the salary report, is that remote work massively dominates in our space. About 90% of roles are fully remote, meaning that you can work from anywhere, and where you're located shouldn't stop you from really going for it and trying to break into the space or find a higher paid job, all of which, of course, you can do through Calyptus. So I think those are the three that I would shout out, Daniel.
All right, that sounds good. But just quickly, how do you see Calyptus V2 disrupting the general Web3 jobs market? Like, how are we disrupting it? How are we changing things? What are we changing?
I think there's a few ways in which we'll change the job market. We'll make it much easier for employers to see and believe and trust in candidates as soon as they arrive on the platform. That is naturally a massive unlock. But I think there's a whole load of other ways in which we will grow the ecosystem much further. And perhaps it's not so much to do with Web3 as to do with creating a shareable resume that is much more trustworthy than any other resume that exists, and acts as an amazing growth mechanism for us at Calyptus. So anyone who creates a Calyptus profile, builds their on-chain CV within the platform, but can share that CV anywhere with any employer. And the average software engineer applying for a role will probably apply to about 100, 150 roles on their job search. They're using the Calyptus CV. This has, a huge network effect for us. More employers seeing us, more employers coming to Calyptus to find great engineers, and therefore more engineers coming to our platform because they see the amazing clients that we work with. I hope that answers your question, Daniel. I don't know if anyone else has any.
Yeah, it does. And someone said, I think that's Lucas on LinkedIn, he says, all roles should be remote, not just 90%. I was thinking 90% was a very high number.
Me too. I think, look, I understand, even for us at Calyptus, we try and get together once a week in the office. It's not a requirement per se, but it's good to have team time, collaboration, meetings, etc. in person. But I think the trend is very much remote, and that's a positive thing. But there's definitely benefits to being in the office as well.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you.
We meet in once a week as a team, to chat in person on the different stuff, and that's really gives a boost.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, and we also get to play games as well. So outside of work stuff.
And drink beer.
Gives the boost.
Yeah. Yeah, so what would you say are the three most important pain points for job seekers in this market, and how does V2 address that? Let's just do it quickly so I can bring Ross into the conversation. I know he's itching to dive into the tech side of things.
Yeah, I can see it too. I think it's always so difficult to stand out from the crowd as a candidate. The way that we're allowing you to do that, as Dan explained, is to actually prove your experience, to show that you did work at Netflix, Apple, Amazon, wherever it was that you worked, to prove that you actually have fantastic Solidity or JavaScript or Python skills, and to clearly show that to all of the employers that use our platform. Lack of experience is another pain point. I think someone mentioned it in the comments. You know, everyone wants to hire people that have loads of experience. It's why we've built out so much education, and it's why I will always encourage anyone that I speak with and anyone that our team speaks with who's looking for a role in Web3 to contribute to open source. Build out your GitHub profile as much as you possibly can. That's going to help you to stand out from the crowd. That's going to show that you're massively interested in the space, and it's going to increase your chances of getting a role. And then the final point is lack of network. You know, Web3 is fully remote, really, 90% remote, as we've just discussed. We have a community at Calyptus on Discord. We post all sorts of challenges there. We have lots going on in the community. And Daniel, maybe you want to talk about that a bit more possibly. But it's really important to meet people, to understand from them, and get introductions from them, understand what they're working on, see if you can help out. All of these things are going to massively increase your chances of finding work in the space.
All right. And just as you did it from the job seeker side, how about you do it from the employer side? So three pain points for employers.
I was just on mute. I just want to chime in what Callum was saying there. Like, we have stories, you know, because it's a very true point, Ryan. It is difficult, but building in public is an incredible way to contribute in an open source manner, prove that you like building in Web3 development, learn that skill set, and get noticed. You know, we have an individual, Anam, who, you know, she's just finished her master's, but she literally just contributed to Solana Mobile. She has built her own startup, but at a very young age. She got noticed because she was adding to what they were building for free as a community member. And now she's working at Helios, which is one of the top, you know, projects in Solana. So building in public is a really brilliant way to get noticed. And, you know, if you talk to even, you know, the Solana Foundation, a lot of the people that got into the Solana Foundation as DevRails there, they were building in public. Nader Dabit didn't start coding until 30 years old, but he still managed to make his way in, again, through building in public. So just getting yourself out there, it's not easy for some people who are maybe introverted, but to be doing lots of open work, you know, talking about it, you know, on Twitter or LinkedIn, you know, really good ways to get noticed.
Yeah, speaking about getting noticed, Calyptus actually does a really great job in that by building the profile at Calyptus and verifying your skills. All stuff around in Calyptus in Calyptus platform is around your skills, around the verification of your skills, and you can create a beautiful profile there, showcase your public contribution, showcase your existing experience, whatever it is, and use Calyptus' beautiful assessment integration with Kolodyazhnyi, where you can prove your skills on the real, not kind of easy peasy, but real assessments, coding challenges. And therefore, and this will be displayed in your profile, and therefore you're gonna showcase your knowledge. That's one of the kind of best ways to do that at Calyptus. As well, and there is a social confirmation thing at Calyptus. You can ask people who worked with you and who can prove that you do know stuff that you want to work with, and therefore you can stand out yourself in front of companies, in front of potential employers, and get the job of your dream.
All right. I'm just going to let Callum answer the last question, and then it's going to be over to you, Ross, officially. So, pain points for employers that you've noticed in this space.
There's a lot of pain points for employers in this space. One I already touched on: finding real people. 20% of applicants are fake. That is a massive problem. There's no real way around it, unless you are using a platform like Calyptus that allows candidates to verify themselves to prove that they are who they say they are. So that's a really obvious one. The other is lack of skills. You might get someone through a hiring a HR interview, they come across really well, you put them forward to the hiring manager, they come across really well there, they talk about the tech well, but they get to the tech assessment and they fail. They're just not good enough. How can you test for that before inviting them for those screening calls and save hours worth of time? Well, again, we've built a solution for that through the integration with Kolodyazhnyi. Candidates on the platform prove they can do JavaScript, Solidity, whatever it is, whatever programming language it is, and that will save massive amounts of time for HR teams, for hiring managers, and obviously plenty of money as well. I think the final thing, and this is something that we'll be doing pretty soon, is creating a process that is tough enough to like test for the skills that you're looking for, but not so long that a candidate is like completely fed up of going through 8 stages of a process. Again, the more we can verify and the more you as a candidate can prove yourself upfront, the less time an employer has to spend doing those things, the less time you have to spend in an interview process. And already we see candidates that get placed through Calyptus, it takes them about 20 days to go from first interview to job offer. Elsewhere, that's 45 days. So we've sped things up a huge amount, and we very much think that V2 is going to speed things up even further.
All right.
Decibel, that's a great question, and it's extremely easy. You can literally sign into Calyptus or register with Calyptus with your LinkedIn profile, and then our AI in the background will build out your Calyptus profile using your LinkedIn. Everything will appear. You'll just have to go through and just tick a couple of boxes confirming that, yep, that's correct. So shouldn't take you longer than about 15, 20 seconds to port your LinkedIn profile into Calyptus and then start proving yourself and getting your verifications from there.
And the link to the LinkedIn profile will be there as well.
Yeah, of course.
All right. So over to you, Ross. I know a lot of people have been hearing us talk about blockchain technology, and they're eager to know how we've integrated blockchain technology into the services that Calyptus provides to its users. So can you briefly speak to that?
Yeah. So obviously, Calyptus platform and ecosystem further as we see that is super bounded with blockchain. The first thing that touches the blockchain point is obviously the Calyptus digital CV or Calyptus blockchain CV that is generated with depersonalized data and available on-chain with all the skills confirmations and facts. As one more time, emphasizing that it's depersonalized and without names of the companies, but with clear proves that some specific skill is valid, some experience is valid, and that's the state of the professional identity that that Calyptus provides on-chain for future use of other ecosystems, of other decentralized decentralized autonomous organizations, and unbiased and immutable proof that you did something on the scene. You have a skill, you have specific skills, and you have specific knowledge to work on some stuff, and that's the main integration for now that Calyptus platform has with the blockchain, but that's not the only one that it will be that it will have, because I see the Calyptus not as a just one more SaaS on the market. That's we have really much broader vision of what we are building and what we are doing, how we want to state and change, or let's shout out like a disrupt this market and disrupt how people feel themselves when getting looking for a job, when getting things sorted out with their CV, when trying to apply for a job, and sometimes it really feels like a meaningless. And we are going to fix that. And moreover, for me as well, Calyptus, it's a broad ecosystem which includes not only the way how you do jobs, and also the way what's happened after that, how you getting paid, how you can spend this money, how you getting rewarded for the activity in the product, how you getting rewarded for the activity in real life, for your spending, how you can manage your finances that you earned for the jobs that you landed at Calyptus, and how you can make your life better, make the life of your family better, and be a better person anyway. And that's where blockchain and Web3 technology could help us a lot. We are cooking a lot of new cool things on the background, which will be even more bounded with blockchain, and Calyptus will be proper Web3 blockchain supercharged ecosystem with a real value that delivers not only services but also real value through the job work side of things, the financial side of things, well-being, life, and so on.
Right, sounds good. I know a concern people are going to have is how safe would their data be on the platform? So Ross, can you just address that concern? What security measures are in place on the platform to protect data?
That's a really important question for everyone, I think, because we see different hacks happen everywhere, and having my experience of building specifically mainly fintech financial platforms where I've got more than 10 international licenses in different jurisdictions for running financial systems, financial products, neobanks, and more than 100 audits, different kind of audits I've got through the penetration testings, different licensing audits, anything that you can imagine on the market that is related to security. I've had in my experience through the previous products, and we are a employing on this experience, obviously, at Calyptus with the team. And the security had been put as a cornerstone, of the whole platform, the whole Calyptus platform at the very beginning of its development. So we are hosting our services on the PCI DSS compliant environment. Although we are not processing card details, card information. Who knows what is PCI DSS? It's a standard dictated by Visa and MasterCard that is related to the matter that you can store cards data in your system. We're not doing that right now, but we are hosting our services on this type of environment. That's the first thing. The second thing is that all information in our database stored in an encrypted mode. We use advanced encryption algorithms to encrypt our information that's related to everything that we store in databases. And of course, around that, and like sharing a bit of my experience, that the security boundaries that you build in your system, that's in 99% not about the security measures inside your product. It really often doesn't matter how encrypted everything is in the system. It really often doesn't matter what is the level of monitoring you set in your product to be super compliant or to be super secure. It's more matters how the team treats the product and how the team treats the way how they operate with the digital services we build or we use and so on. Because the majority of issues come from the social engineering and phishing attacks and so on and so forth. And we continuously monitor that. We have enhanced security rules on our emails. We have 2FA set up on all the accounts. We have more and more awareness discussions on the understanding of the threats that we are into, that we're exposed to potentially exposed to in the world. And the main approach that we take at Calyptus around security is not the one killer silver bullet of encryption and so on. The main approach is to have this onion-like way of multiple layers of defense that we put in front of access to any sensitive information. And these multiple layers of defense are strictly maintained from any teammate, team member at Calyptus to the developers who write the code and to the management team. So that's how we do security.
All right. I think it sounds like your data is pretty safe from what Ross has said. So do you want to take the question on the screen from Amira?
Of course. Hello. Yeah, I mean, we have no limitations on countries. We've got over 110 countries so far. By the way, I'm responding. I'm not sure if you're on LinkedIn and I'm on YouTube. I don't actually know if it's working or not, but I have responded in the chat. But 110 countries we're currently in. So yeah, Afghanistan, Pakistan, we actually have lots of users from those countries. So by all means, please do join.
I'll double check where there was kind of some there was some misunderstanding or inconvenience on putting your specific country when you try to create the profile or use Calyptus. We still polishing things here and there. It's a launch party. It's a launch party. It's,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
not like a it's not
It
like a Calyptus is already 10 years and we like are really bored and built everything that we want. We're still polishing stuff here and there, and this feedback is super valuable. The way, and that's why we are here, to be honest, to gather the feedback and to have the direct interaction with people that specifically use and like, hopefully, the things that we've created, the products that we've created. So go ahead, try it out, shout out any inconvenient stuff that you've experienced, and we of course will kind of throw ourselves on that.
Yes, let us know. I mean, you should be able to sign up. We are completely borderless.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
we will fix it as soon as possible, but it should completely work. Victor, also for someone who just got into blockchain development, can Calyptus help build a valuable CV for me after going through the courses? Yes. I mean, we have our recruitment team on our Discord. If you put through a ticket or ask from our community to help you, of course we can help pull together things that you should be doing. But of course you have our Calyptus resume. The whole idea is that on our platform there is a resume for you in which your data is pulled from your CV, your current one, or pulled from your LinkedIn. It's generated into your profile using AI. You fill in some of the blanks if there are any blanks, and like Ross said, if there are any inaccuracies, AI is not always 100%, but we're getting there. And then adding verifications. The whole idea actually right now, we have the ability for you to send a PDF copy of your profile as your resume, but we're slowly actually iterating on it and making it better and better. And the next version of it is going to be URL shareable, which means that actually employers can actually interact with a living, breathing kind of profile of yours and see who's verified you. They can see the scores you've had. They can click into it. And so we're making this even better. So you can start today, and over the next few months, you're going to have hopefully a killer resume to be reaching out to employers with on and off our platform. How long does it take to Kevin Hart? How long does it take to land my first role at Calyptus after joining? Very difficult question. Some people have landed jobs. I think Callum, some people land a job in 48 hours. Others, it might take months. We really couldn't tell you how long it would take. A lot of it's going to come down to how can you make the most out of our platform. We are very much aligned to not only saying what you can do, but proving what you can do. So if you are able to prove your skills, provide references, the more this happens, the more that you get significantly boosted on our platform and standing out to employers. The matching score that they see you paired up to their jobs goes higher and higher and higher based a lot on verification. So verify yourself and you'll stand out. A lot of it is down to you. Then it's down to smashing the interview, showing some of the great qualities that you have. I think Lucas spoke about kind of integrity and collaboration, like showing some of these killer skills and traits that you have, and showing that you're really passionate. That's going to speed up everything, once you land an interview. But we couldn't tell you exactly how long it'll take. But yeah, having that skill match and having those traits and characteristics and having a great profile, you'll stand out there.
Yeah, sounds good. So Ross, finally, any new features, any upcoming features on the platform that the community should look at?
Yeah, we are cooking, as I said, we are cooking a lot of cool features, and majority of them Dan has already spotted on these on this stream. But the most important, maybe upcoming stuff is the really cool CVs that you can build and share. That you can build at Calyptus inside the Calyptus platform and share with all kind of potential companies that you like into, And moreover, this CV will be aligned with the AI with the AI processing of CVs through the automated systems that companies usually use. So this CV will be AI compliant, AI proof, and will likely to have more potential and more opportunities to get in front of recruiter and being seen. It's not the secret that right now companies are using these ATS systems or systems that process CVs, and the majority of CVs are declined by these systems automatically because there is no keywords in these CVs. But on the background, these systems using AI, we know how to kind of help you to help you to build the CV that this AI will like. And we also, Calyptus CV is additionally unique because of the skills and proofs of the skill of your skills that you're gonna have that. So this CV will be in much more levels better than any other CV that you can create, and hopefully will help you to land the job better and quicker, whether it's Calyptus platform or any other job that you have. That's one of the main things that we're cooking right now. Also, we are going to make easier to get into the platform and get understanding what's inside the Calyptus, why it's valuable, and why to start using that. And if you're not using that for now, just do that right now. Join the community and start building your profile, because the next thing that we're gonna bring into the platform is really cool. It's really cool loyalty program. It's really cool points feature that will give more that will provide awesome rewards while you're building your profile and while you're using Calyptus. And we have more, even broader vision for these rewards. We're going to make them really valuable and really aligned with blockchain and Web3 vision and narrative. So make sure that you join in right now and start building your future with Calyptus.
All right, sounds good. Dan, anything you want to add that the community should be looking forward to?
That's what I'm most looking forward to. This point system that we're building is really exciting. It's something in which any user that's on the platform can earn points for doing certain tasks, assessments, references, and then you're going to be on leaderboards as well. You can actually see, therefore, where you're ranked against other people, and also see, therefore, how good your resume is in standing out, because you can see how you're better against other people on the platform. But yeah, actually doing these things and getting rewarded for it, that's what's going to be really exciting in the next 2 or 3 weeks. So watch the space.
Yeah, speaking of getting rewarded, we launched our ambassadors program last week, and the feedback has been amazing. Thank you to everyone who joined. You can still join. You can still be a Calyptus ambassador. Just join our Discord and you get more information. Also, our Learn and Earn, which has been one of our biggest initiatives. We're doing the 12th cohort and we're launching it next week. So also stay tuned. You could win $40. Actually, 50 people could end up winning $40 in just 14 days for doing what they do best, which is putting their skills to the test by completing our Solana curriculum on our platform. So yeah, complete the curriculum and you could end up earning 40 USDT. Join the community for more information. I'm just gonna leave it at that. So any closing remarks from Dan, Callum, Ross, please feel free to jump in.
Yeah, I wanted
closing remarks.
I wanted to jump in with the broader vision that we've got in terms of building stuff. So I've told you about what we have right now and what we're doing specifically right now, but the vision of Calyptus is much more broader, and I already kind of sneak peek that, but to highlight more, we're building the whole ecosystem that will help people to land a job, to get paid, will help companies to process payments and pay to people seamlessly without any hassle. And furthermore, to spend this money and to get additional liquidity with the credit cards and with juicy stuff on top of that. And that's the broader vision that Calyptus has: getting the job landed and getting the finance done.
All right, closing remarks.
From me, just thank you all for joining. The community's grown so much over the last. We've only been going for 2 years, so for us, we've only managed to build this because of the community around us. Because of building version 2 is all based around basically problems that our users were having, both employers and candidates. Now moving forward for this year, we've got some really exciting stuff, all because of working with you guys. So thank you to everyone in the ambassador program. If you enjoyed being on this call, jumping to our Discord and be an ambassador, and as Daniel said, get rewarded for it. That's it.
All right, guys. Thanks to everyone who joined. The recording is going to be there, so you can come back and listen to our exciting new V2 features at any time. So yeah, thanks, guys. Bye, everyone.
Cheers.
Bye.